Optimum. Yep, I kept that too.
There's the bag. Oh yeah, we're gonna want to see all those things. Let's
On
bring
the
that
flight,
bad
you want to
boy
bring it out there? Yeah.
That's a lot of history in a box right there.
Yep. This is it. These are my two colors right here.
I remember, man, those are the originals.
Yeah. Those two right there was it. Just rotate those two colors.
And you rigged up your own trap hook methods here, huh?
Yeah.
So did you have to thread a line? Yep.
Take and put a worm.
A worm threader
through. Take and cable it through, and then push it right in through there and put it there.
Wow.
A lot of fish came on that back hook.
Oh yeah.
And you can see on how it'll tear it off, tear through it sometime. But you just take a hot knife.
Oh yeah, I remember you and your hot knife. You used to bring it out on the boat.
Yeah, yeah. Heat it up and then put it right back together, and then your bait still swim true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this tail and the vibration, and even listen in the tail. I even put worm rattles in the back.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, especially for the stained water after the rains or windy time. Those worm rattles, I don't know if it was me, the confidence deal, or what, but it sure brought more bites.
Wow. Yeah, people I think take for granted the technology that you know, is available in all these different bait options now. You know, everything comes with the trap rigging almost stock, or you know, at least an option for it.
Yeah.
And then back then, when you guys were seriously, you know, being the pioneers of this style of fishing, you had to pretty much come up with your own solutions for those problems.
And that's because you're losing fish. And when you get bit, you wonder, what happened? Look at the top of this bait. How in the world did I lose those fish if it been chewed like that?
Look at those bite marks.
So when you see bite marks like that and you still lose them, you know, that shows you how strong these big fish are.
Absolutely.
And then they're spitted. But also too, a lot of them was caught on it.
That's right.
Too, you know, you're not gonna catch every one of them.
Nice.
And you can see I threw this one much more than this one. I don't know. I just had.
Yeah, I always like that
confidence in
dark one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it gives that flash. And then of course I always put those worm rattles in the back of there. And
what did you like about the Optimum bait versus the older Worm King Dinosaur? Because they're both pretty much, you know, paddle tail soft baits that you sink out.
Well, the Optimum, it had less rubber. You can see, look at the thickness here.
Wow. Yeah, because that dinosaur was really a saltwater bait, right?
Yes.
For like lingcod and rockfish and stuff like that.
Yeah, John Scholl brought this out, fishing saltwater, and brought it into casitas. He was basically fishing the smaller ones. In fact, he's one of the ones that turned me on to this, to Greg and I, and Randy introduced me to him.
Okay.
Up at the lake, is Randy like, hey, I want you to meet this guy. He's a pretty good guy. And he had offered to take me out fishing, but I didn't have the chance to go. So he just dialed on what he was using, and of course, Worm King, and he said, you just take it from there. And then when this came out, I like this because the slender body on it, and the paddle tail. This thing does, it gives you that, I don't know if you've seen it in the water.
Oh, I definitely have.
Oh, you see how it does. And the thing about it, it's supposed to be fish, but I like the way it looked. You know? Yeah. And then it's a confidence bait, and when you reel in this bait and with the lead head, you don't have to reel it all the way to the boat and throw it back. You can just stop it and sink it. And you stop it and sink it, sometimes fish just go out and eat it. That's why you get a lot of marks on the head like that. Because I don't know, it's go a different direction. The fish think it's trying to get away or what it's trying to do. But if you see fish follow it, or you just got that feel, stop and let the bait drop, you're going to get thumped. When you feel that thump on it, you just reel up and hit it, because there's a fish on there. Yeah, they see it turn in a different direction. And what I find too is when more than one fish are together, and when you make a movement on it, those fish is going to react to it.
I've seen groups of fish on casitas.
And you can see a reason why I put the trap hook back here. Look where the bite marks are there.
Wow.
You see Now, if the fish come up from behind it and grab it there, or did he come and just grab it?
Kind of T-bone it.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, like a topwater bait, fish will come and grab it, turn it loose, try to stun it, turn around and get it. But look what the marks are behind, and we know the largemouth like to eat them head first.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, you see teeth marks all down this thing. That's why I saved this one.
Oh man, I love it. These baits that are all beat up and have, you know, multiple bite marks and teeth marks, they're the most beautiful fishing lures in anybody's collection, in my opinion.
And you know, guys wouldn't fish a lure like this, because you see my eyes.
Oh yeah, I see that addition.
Michaels and put on. That don't look good. Look at this. You see how all of this has been hot knife and put back together? You're not gonna fish that because it don't look good. And the same thing here. Look at the marks on there.
Oh, it's their mistake.
You're not gonna fish it because it don't look good. Now you put this in front of some big fish out there, and you'll see the pictures what it brought up.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you, they don't care what it looked like at the time. It's a reaction.
I honestly think it works better the more haggled, you know, and haggard they look.
Because they realize they want to eat stun bait, stun fish. So I had no problem with them keep eating this. The only why they didn't eat it no more, I stopped throwing it.
That's right.
That was the only reason. But you can see bite marks from the head all the way down here to the back.
Now we used to call this thing the Opti-Bomb because it was so heavy and made such a giant splash when it cast. When you cast it. Did you upgrade your equipment by this point when you're fishing this bait?
Oh, I done went to the G Loomis by
then.
Yeah, the shorter version, I got those still there. I got them cleaned up, set there. They like in the collector's item rack over there. But yeah, I was throwing that by that time. And it was a perfect rod for it because with this rubber, you needed to try to pull through. And after I lost a lot of fish, that's when I went with these trap hooks on that. When I finally figured out all these bite marks on the back. So from then on, when I got bit and I saw the number of fish that I was getting on the trap hook, that was key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that made a big difference. And of course, like I said earlier, it did get all torn up, but I tell you, it rips most in the same spot. But you just hot knife it, it sticks right together. Now this was the best made Optimum, the early ones.
Yeah, that was a saltwater plastic. Because it was, I think, you know, designed for the calico and sand bass guys too. Yeah,
these didn't separate because the ones in I think the 2000s.
They started delaminating
right
the
in
color
here,
seams.
They would start to separate there, and the same thing. You hot knife them, and they all stick together there. But with these, I'd never had that problem with these on it.
Yeah, people got to keep in mind, you know, when you go from this profile, which is very basic and rudimentary, and then this thing came out, it's like, oh, wow, that actually starts to look more like an actual fish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like a big shad.
Because people take the super highly detailed baits that we have now and take that for granted, I think.
Yeah, yes they do.
Yeah. But that also, I bet you that those fish will still bite these things.
The only reason why they don't bite them
because nobody throws them.
Not throwing them. It's the only reason. But they will still eat these baits. These are the same size as a stock trout. But it's also too a confidence thing because, like you said, people are looking for all of the detailed baits that they got out now, the nice colors and all of that. This old faded bait caught a lot of more big fish than anybody gonna realize.
Oh yeah.
And lost as many too.
Oh yeah, that's the tough part about having these big soft plastic baits, right? When they come up shaking.
And then when you see this come flying out and you see the size of the fish with his head shaking out, you could just still see it as today.
Oh yeah.
I might remember what I did yesterday, but I could remember in the early 90s, a fish back there in Station Canyon came up and threw this bait, and I'm like, oh, that probably was my biggest one.
Oh.
And it came, but what it did, and then you keep going back. You know,
that's right.
Because you know they're there and they was looking for trout. But yeah, this was one of my favorites too. This bait, and this one got me my biggest fish started. And then next came.
How big do you think that fish was that you hooked on that bait that you lost? Give me a rough estimate.
Oh,
actually, why don't you paint the whole story for me? So
I'm thinking.
What time of year? You know, what was it like?
Oh, that was same right after I got the 13, 14.
Okay.
I got 11. Had to be, because I had to work. So it was at the end of February.
Okay.
And I had a chance to get back there because you're thinking about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And those fish had to be mid-teens. I'm talking, I would say 14, 16 pounds in there. Because fish, you could see the size of the fish. I seen a school of fish come swimming through the one area that I had found, and it was a group of them, and the biggest fish in the middle had to be pushing 18 pounds. And the water was so clear and no wind yet, you just couldn't get those fish to look at anything. And then sure enough, I just left the spot, came back later that evening, and sure rolling through, and boom, there you are. You know, and you know, that was probably the smallest one in the group, was an 11 pounder.
Wow.
But the fish I saw on station when I had this on, it had to be a mid-teen fish. And I'm just rolling through it, and you know, trees all back there.
Oh yeah.
So I was just rolling through the trees, and then coming down, and it's got all the little, you can see like little paths through it. And those fish was just related on it because trout had went back in station.
Okay.
When they dump them at the ramp, they go both ways.
Yep.
Yep. They go over there down Station Canyon, and that had to be at least 3 or 4 days after the plant. And those fish was back there in the shallows. No, I would say no more than 15, 20 foot. Yeah. So I went there and just couldn't get them out of them bushes. And then I know another friend that lives up there, Mike Bloodsoe. He was the guy that luckily caught 2 12-pounders one time on an AC lure.
Oh, at the same time?
At the same time.
Oh.
He saw back
2
there
12s?
2 12s at the same time, and he got a K-Mark rig that
Oh,
he
no.
was using. And he had got one of those AC lures from Randy up there, and he was out fumbling around. He hooked one, and the other tried to take it from him, and he hooked that one too.
Oh man, that's insane.
He saw where I hooked his fish at and lost it, and he went out there, and he's have a glass company up there. So what he did, get started work, he left around 3:30 or so. He go and fish
the
that spot.
afternoon, huh?
Sure enough, he went to the spot, and he got a fish around 11 pounds out of there.
Wow.
So that place was holding fish. And then, of course, it's a deep channel that
Mhm.
runs back there with a set of trees on top. All those fish just move up on top of there. But it was great fishing back that time, and still, you just can't imagine all of the trout that they were stocking, sometimes twice a week. Oh, those fish was healthy. And you'd be fishing, all of a sudden you look up, you hear this noise, you see trout scooping on top of the water, and you know what's underneath trying to get
yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh, and then you get all excited thinking you can throw to them. But all you have to do is just wait it out and fish your spots. They coming, you know. They coming. And then one of the best spots, of course, is right there in front of the ramp, at Crawdad Point. Because even when you weigh fish, where you release them at,
That's
right
right.
by the ramp, and a lot of fish are there. Yeah, because I had Randy, when I launched, I was working at the LA Convention Center. I left there around noon or so. I couldn't drag a boat, so I just get one of his rental boats.
Oh, okay.
And once I got to know him so well, he would just say, "Doc, go ahead and take it out," you know.
Nice.
I leave the ramp, and he knew what I was getting ready to do.
Oh, yeah.
I start throwing from right there, and then I got up there, and he's like, "How big was that fish?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's watching through binoculars. He see all the time, and he said, "I want you to start bringing them up here," and because I was just, you know, weighing them, tossing them back.
Yeah, but he wanted the publicity for the lake.
And I said, "That's not a problem." And then from then on, yeah, when I come
That's
up,
how little kids like me found out about what you were doing. Like, whoa,
yeah,
this guy is killing them.
Yeah, he would say, "Bring me the pictures up there, because I see you catching fish." And I'm like, "Wow!" And then he reach under the counter, pulls out his binoculars. I said, "Oh, okay." Sure enough. you know.
That's great.
And I told him, "Well, I didn't want to kill him. I'm in a rental boat." He said, "But that's all right. Just take a shot of them. I have somebody take it. They'll survive." But yeah, it was really good. I had the fever real bad.
Oh man.
Especially when I was working in LA. Oh, that made it real easy to go that way. Especially if I could open up a show that opened at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I could leave there and go fish the rest of the day.
That's great.
Yeah, that Optimum and Worm King, that started. And this here was my other favorite color right here. And this was easy to throw. You look how big the set on that.
Yeah, that's a big old hook.
Now this here was an easy bait to throw because you look at how slim it is. Yeah, this is another one of my favorite colors. Now Randy, he made this one up.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's got bigger hooks on it, but you still have to take and hit it with a file.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see you got wire for your leader there.
Oh yeah, I never used mono for the stinger hooks. And seeing this one, it didn't matter. I just took it and stuck it inside because you could see the difference in the thickness of the baits. So you didn't have to run it all the way through, but you could, run it through like on the. But this was another good color because of the green top. And Randy made these up at the lake also.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he made this color and the other one, this one, this color. These are the two he made up there.
Wow.
And once they got so hot, he was selling these baits.
What did these baits cost back then? Do you remember?
I really don't remember. It wasn't
under $10?
Oh, I'm thinking a little more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking around $14.
Because that is a lot of plastic.
Yeah, because you're talking.
And then you got the lead head.
And the lead head on it. You had this. Yeah. And then if you trapped them, it was probably around $15-16.
It was big money back then.
Well, of course. And then also, too, they know that's the hot bait. You're going to pay for it.
That's right.
So $15-16, that's like the $50 baits now.
Yeah.
Looking at that, that was totally going to cost you a few bucks to try to get a big fish. And most people are looking for one. They're not greedy like I was. I was trying to keep getting them.
You had a whole box full of them, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. And this is what I have left after losing so many.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to go without them because I know once you get your fish on them, they eat them.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about what happens. So you lose your bait, then you're out there, and then what you on a bite, a potential bite. Because if you got bit earlier in the day, you can figure sometime during that day, they going to feed. Don't know when.
Right.
And then you might hit the spot where the fish then pulled up to. And sure enough, these baits pulled up some real good fish out there. But these are all my colors there. This one and that, and I just rotated back and forth to these two colors. And this one here, this was when it real windy. You throw this,
that is still a big bait.
But they'll eat that baby.
Oh, I know they will.
Yeah, there's something about a bigger bait. A big fish just pulls them up.
It does.
Oh yeah, it will. It will pull them up.
That's no question. I mean, we found that to be true across the country now.
Yeah, that a bigger bait is going to call those fish up. And not that they won't eat these. Even if they don't hit it, it will make them look at it. They're going to come out, take a look at it, and see what it is, and then some of them just going to come up and just eat it.
Yeah.
No, there's no doubt. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with throwing it once I saw what it does.
Oh man, that's gnarly. For you to be able to have that kind of confidence with really nobody else to kind of look to. It's a different age, right? Like all these kids now, and even all of us young adults, we have social media and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all these different platforms that we can see. Yeah. People are really doing this, right? Yeah. But back then, all you really had to go off of was like a Western Outdoor News, maybe a magazine article. I don't think anybody is shooting any TV stuff with this stuff yet.
Not with this. And then also, too, you got to think at that time, you catch your fish on something like this. Nobody's going to believe it.
Nope.
Oh, he caught that on a trout. He caught it on a crawdad.
Right.
I fished crawdad. He didn't catch it on that. There's no way. And then after he kept seeing it coming, then maybe he is catching them on that. But think about it. Somebody come out that really don't know and start fishing.
Oh, it's absurd.
No way you catch nothing on that. Or look at this. You think they're gonna eat something like that? And I had to convince myself.
Right. And that's the hardest thing, right?
And then once I saw what it, I said, oh, there's no doubt. When I first felt that first thump, I said, oh yeah.
I mean, how did you fight through those 7 days of not catching a fish?
I just had to keep doing it. I wanted.
Wow.
Yeah, that was 2 days, nothing, and then come back another 2, and then we had that 3 days off. And once I got bit on it, it was worth it then. Man. And it was like then I'll take 2 hours if I had it.
That's right.
So I started calling it a 4-hour call. After I leave work, if I had 4 hours, if I can fish for 4 hours, I was driving to Casitas Lake.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
That's a heck of a freaking commitment, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, to drive 2 hours. That's one way.
Yeah.
Because from here to Casitas Lake was 103 miles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to live up the street. I remember.
Yeah. So, yes, indeed. But, yeah, get your confidence on it and people look at it.
And that's a thing that really stuck out to me, Doc, when I was a young kid. And even as a young adult, when I started working at Turner's, and you'd come in the store, man, you just had this aura of confidence. You know, you'd come buy a new reel or some of the crawdads, depending what time of year it was.
Right.
You know, you just had this look, and I was like, dude, this guy's going to come back with some crazy pictures.
Yeah, you got to believe it's going to happen. I knew we were going to get fish.
Oh, I knew you did.
Everybody stopped fishing in the summer for him, and it was a way to catch him. And I didn't have a problem fishing with crawdads because August, the bite was going to go off.
Wow.
And I took the last 2 weeks of August off for about, 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that bite was on up there. And the guys were, what is he doing? And Randy King, he knew it. He knew it. He was going to wait until I finished before he started telling people.
That was good of him.
Yeah, because he knew people was going to start crowding.
Yeah.
And I told him that's why I didn't from the start, because I'm still learning. And then at the point, he said, well, you did good to come up. And for not knowing this lake, to figure out what you did without a guide, he said, you did real good, Doc.
How much more rewarding is that for you? You know, to actually be able to go to a new lake, put in the time, put in the work, and figure it out on your own.
It was really rewarding because I knew it could be done. I seen other people do it, and then you just want something bad enough, you're going to do it.
Nice.
And then you see guys catching fish, and you see here and there, and I was like, well, it's got to be a way. But also, too, you got to figure the fish out. You got to figure out what they're doing. You know they got to eat all year, where they go, and then once you figure that out and have the confidence that they are going to bite, you just got to stick it out. Because we stuck out some hot days. We camped up, we fished in the morning, pulled off during the day, come back in the evening, and those trips was really great because